Since its discovery, the Congo has aroused the fascination of its visitors. Many describe it as a prehistoric place where life has stopped. Its forests, jungles, and savannahs are intact, almost without alteration or human contact, and this has caused it to become not only a scenario that transports its visitors to a remote era, but also the lair of monstrous animals, unclassified creatures that escape the understanding of science and hunters. For this reason, today we have compiled some of the most chilling creatures seen in this area, so that you can witness the power and ferocity for yourself, provided you're willing to discover what lurks in some of the most inhospitable and uninhabited areas. Are you ready for this expedition? If you're so sure, then get ready to discover the impossible and the chilling. Number 5. The Killer Elephant. The first beast on this list is listed as one of the most vicious and bloodthirsty creatures in this part of the globe. Its appearance aroused the curiosity of the newspapers as from one day to the next, large murders and mysterious disappearances began to be recorded. During the investigations, nothing coherent seemed to make sense to explain it, and when all logic failed, the authorities accepted the impossible. It was then that they listened to reports from local citizens who claimed that somewhere in the vast forest, there was a creature that the Aboriginal natives called a Mokeleumbembe. According to local descriptions, it was a demonic elephant that enjoyed human blood and flesh. Its color was dark, as was its heart, and virtually no one who crossed its path had managed to survive to narrate it. However, there was one hunter who did. His surname is Lepage, and he was a Belgian who had traveled to the Congo for his job as a foreman in 1919. In his spare time, this human hunted the abundant wildlife of the region. Hearing rumors of this beast, he decided to take care of this marvelous prey on his own. To do so, he hired a brave guide who took him to the creature's lair, although they didn't get that far. Halfway there, the man met the creature. That was all Lepage wanted. The elephant was monstrous. Its stout body resembled that of rhinoceroses. Its hump was adorned with spines. Its legs were swift, and there was tusks filled with blood on either side of its trunk. The man tried to shoot and kill the creature, but the bullets didn't hit the target. Guns were no match for this creature, so they fled into a nearby swamp, the only place where they could keep themselves safe from the mighty beast. Of course, Lepage's account is only the first of many. Thousands of people have crossed the path of the Mokeleumbembe, though few have had the chance to tell the tale. Number 4. Janganek. The jungle has never been a pleasant place for humans. This is something the natives of the Congo are very aware of, especially when it comes to visiting the home of a creature that all natives fear. His name is Janganek, and he seems to be one of the most terrifying beings lurking in the darkest places of the Congo. Records of native oral traditions seem to describe him as a monstrous beast that devours its victims without the slightest trace of compassion. In the past, tribes made great efforts to stay away from Janganek's territory, as it was extremely savage and dominant. Some stories confirm his violence and bloodlust. It's believed that he was responsible for numerous murders and the main reason why several local tribes were forced to migrate. One of the few surviving modern accounts of this beast can be found in a 1910 book of essays by explorer and hunter Edgar Beecher Brunson. It recounts an encounter with a creature taken from the realm of nightmares. According to testimonies, the Janganek is almost 6 meters long, has scaly skin, and a square head from which 2 long, curved tusks similar to those of walruses protrude. This peculiarity has earned it the nickname the Walrus of the Jungle, although it also has a long tail that ends in a rudimentary bony stinger full of venom, which has already claimed countless lives. No one knows how to explain the origin of this beast or whether it's capable of reproduction, but even today all kinds of encounters and sightings of this beast continue to be recorded in the deepest parts of the jungle. Number 3. Giant snakes. When it comes to monsters, it's unusual for a country's military to be willing to get involved, much less serve as the main witness. However, the Belgian Air Force at Kamena Air Base in the Congo was the protagonist of a sighting that continues to intrigue civilians and military alike. It happened in 1959 when Remy van Leerde was acting as a colonel returning from a helicopter mission. Everything seemed calm, nothing was out of the ordinary, but then he spotted something that left him paralyzed. Despite the altitude he was at, he could clearly distinguish what he saw crawling along the ground. It was a giant snake, no less than 15 meters long and with a triangular head more than a meter long. The scales of this creature were a dull dark green mixed with brown, and the entire crew, including the helicopter pilot, spotted the beast. The creature was advancing at good speed through the forests of the region, and in a fit of madness, Colonel van Leerde gave the order to follow it. Unfortunately, the intelligent reptile managed to get lost in the thick jungle, making it impossible to track it or to follow it at all. That was the first sighting of what's believed to be the largest snake in the world today. However, although many have subsequently sighted this beast or have crossed its path, no one has been able to offer consistent evidence to prove its existence. Number 2. Mokeleumbembe. Let us move on to another of the great creatures of the Congo, a beast that since the arrival of the Europeans in 1600 has caused havoc and terror in the hearts of natives and missionaries. The name used by the Aborigines to refer to it was Mokeleumbembe, and it usually haunts the swampy lands of Likuola. It usually leaves a trail that's easy to follow. Its enormous 90-centimeter claws leave traces in the places it frequents, and those who have spotted it describe it as an almost prehistoric and grotesque being that can be extremely dangerous if disturbed. Witnesses who have come across it describe it as an animal the size of an elephant with sturdy legs and a tail more than 3 meters long. It also has a strangely elongated neck of almost 2 meters that ends in a triangular head. Researchers who have tried to explain this phenomena have come across an even more revealing finding. Most witnesses, when shown a picture of living, extinct creatures, pointed to the image of a dinosaur of the sauropod species, a Jurassic-era creature known to have been extinct for a very long time. But after these sightings, that could all be about to change. Number 1. Giant spiders. For many, there's nothing as scary and creepy as spiders, and this is a phobia that seems to have a higher number of victims every year. And after you meet this powerful creature, you're going to suffer from it too. Cryptozoologists describe it as a creature worthy of a horror movie, not only because of its size but also because of its abundant offspring, which hide in the deepest caverns of the Congo jungle. Eyewitnesses have described them as creepy creatures that can measure between 1.5 and 2 meters. Their robust bodies are remarkable in their size, although nothing compares to their speed. Each of their 8 legs is ready to move forward at full speed to catch up with intruders. Naturally, the wingspan of these spiders allows them to take on much larger animals, and we humans seem harmless to them. In reality, we are fresh meat, and anyone who falls into their traps pays for the mistake with his or her life. The story of these spiders is not new, of course. Since 1938, these powerful creatures have been investigated by European hunters and explorers. Many have even lost their lives in this jungle, something that has pushed many people to avoid pursuing a painful death at the hands of these Congo monsters. Of course, this isn't unique to this country. Africa is replete with similar stories, although they also exist in the more inhospitable regions of Australia, Europe, and America. The world of the unknown and the impossible knows no borders. There, where darkness and nature are spread around the corners, The creepiest beings you can imagine emerge, and if you join us in a new opportunity, you'll be able to discover it with your own eyes. Are you willing to continue facing terror? If so, then brave fellow, get ready to put your senses to the test with the following videos.